Hi guys, my name is Dr. Rocker and this channel is all about comic book drawings. And today, my friends, I will do my first fully paid comic book cover. Yes! But before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. And also, turn on the post notifications so you won't miss out on any of my future videos. But now, let's draw! So, why the extra piece of paper today? Because I need to try something out before we can start. The comic book cover I will do today is for a Sasquatch comic, which means loads and loads of hair. But I think I've never drawn hair in a comic book style till now. So, let's figure out how to draw hair together. First, we need a quick sketch to try out some techniques. They wanted me to draw a homage on the action comic #1, where Superman throws a car. Only in our case, Sasquatch will throw a rock. So that's the sketch I will do right here. Fortunately, the Sasquatch should be dark furred, what makes the whole thing a lot easier. White fur is even way harder to draw. My plan is, in the sketch and the actual drawing, to create the character first and then put the hair on it. As you can see, this is a very rough sketch. And now we will try to add some hair by pencil first. The forearm and the legs and also the head should have a lot of hair and a bit longer ones. So let's try this out a bit. Now we created a rough idea where the hair should be. But what I really want to know is how will it work with inks. So let's try the first technique I have in mind. I guess the most important thing is to take care of some shadows in the fur. Because the fur, it's basically just lines, just a lot of lines. But you have to take care of some shadows. Which means do not just think in single hair, but think of a bunch of hair. Like this. And this bunch of hair right here, the negative space drawing, so to say, creates a shadow that's like this. And there's the next bunch of hair. And I guess that should work quite good. Then we will attach some more hair and another row. And all of these hair, they need to create some shadows. And now, same as usual, we have to take care of our shadows. In this case, I would say the light hits from here, just to try and figure this out. Which means I will do more lines like this on this side where it's supposed to be way darker. Let's see how this works. You can see I only do almost the same strokes, only varying a little bit. Starting to look more and more like hair, like fur. And now we will go ahead and add some pretty fine lines. Let's see how this looks. And again, a little bit more dark areas here. Darken up the area a little bit more. And then leave some areas like this completely free, where the light hits the most. Doesn't look too bad, but now I want to try to give the whole thing a more comic-like look with doing some sort of outline. A bit thicker lines out there. So it looks more like a comic book drawing. I wanted to have a realistic touch, but I don't want it to look totally realistic. You see what I'm doing? Just kind of adding a line. Don't do the outlines first, like this. You could do it like this as well, and then try to add all the fur lines. I think it's better the way I just did it. Okay people, the next thing I want to try is the brush pen. Directly with the brush pen. Let's see how this works, because the brush pen will go faster, I think. And you can also achieve thinner lines with real quick and very careful placed strokes. This way you can achieve a very old-fashioned look. I would say very old Frank Frazetta ink drawings. And also darkening up the black shadowed areas. And then again from the muzzle, because the muzzle right here makes a curve, so it's getting darker again here. Keep in mind, I'm only doing this very sketchy because I just want to try out some looks. So I would take more time for the actual drawing, of course. Just want to know how I should proceed. Maybe some longer hair would look nice as well. That's also a very nice look, but now we will try to mix them up. With the Tombow pen, it's easier to control your strokes. And now I will use the brush pen to do some darker areas here. In this case, the light hits from this direction. It's just some tryouts. Works out pretty cool as well. And also here we can try to do some sort of outline. Makes it stronger. If you want to have very fine hair, you can also use a 0.1 fine liner. And do a million lines. Let's try this out. Towards the zone where the light hits the surface, you make shorter lines. Some single ones. And then you go in again and darken up this area, the shadowed area. Also doesn't look too bad, but I guess it's easier to mix it up with at least the Tombow pen, because otherwise you will get old when doing all this hair. And also there we can do some sort of outline to give it more power. On areas like this, where a creature like that doesn't have any hair really, we can do strong blacks, as we are used to, like this, just a really quick sketch. And then we take a very fine pen and make really small bits of hair. And I guess no cross-hatching, because that would be too much and too confusing. And also follow the muscles. It's like sort of hatching, but with tiny little pieces of hair. This will work better on a proper piece of paper, but for demonstration and for trying out actually, that's enough for now. But you can see it's a nice look. I think this will work. You can also try out some other pens like the 0.2 fine liner I'm using right here, because of course it also depends on the size of the drawing you want to do. And here is the ribs, kind of render them with fur. Looks nice. And then you can go ahead and use a brush pen or something bigger to go in the black areas. Just like that. And then blacken it out fully. And so we have achieved some different ways to draw fur with ink. I think I will go mostly with this method right here, but also will use some of these details. Which means it's time to grab the pencil and work on the actual drawing. Wish me luck, my friends. Let's go! Okay people, I'm done with the sketch. As you can see, quite a lot of hair. And that's a freaking huge rock he's throwing. Some debris falling off the rock. And I did some background, which will mostly be silhouettes. And this will help that the main focus will be on our character. And there should be enough space for the letters. Which means it's time to ink this piece finally. So, let's ink! Okay people, the strong blacks and also some details from the background are done. And now it's time to bring it to life with all those details. But I will not use as much hatching and cross-hatching as in this piece, for example. I will try and mostly use those little lines I did in the tryout piece. Cause this way we will have more of a furry and rough effect. But speaking of furry, check out what my wife found in the gardens yesterday. It's a squirrel! I called him Orangutan Klaus. Say hello. He fell from his nest and it was pretty cold outside, so we had to take care of him. We've already been to the vet and he got some medication because he might have some problems with the lungs, which means he actually just got a cold. But he's eating and he's pooping, so he'll be fine. Very furry animal, very lovely. Right? Yes, Orangutan Klaus. You're in good hands. Now we will feed him and then I will finish the drawing. So, see you in a minute. Such a lovely fella. He ate a little and now he needs some exercise. Right? Come on, Orangutan Klaus, say hello to my audience. Hello, people. I'm Orangutan Klaus. Okay, but now back to the drawing. Okay people, I'm done with my first ever comic book cover, fully paid. It will be the cover for the second issue of Sasquatch Klondike by TARDIGRADE Comics, an indie comic company. They will run a Kickstarter in July for the second issue of their book. But I will keep you posted about that. I have to admit it was quite a challenge because, like I told you before, I've never really drawn so much fur in a comic book drawing. But I think I figured it out good enough. And I hope my clients will be happy with the result.
They loved it!
As you can see, I went for a strong light source from this direction, could be some headlights or even the evening sun. And as I told you before, compared to my usual stuff like this, the hatching is quite different, the rendering. But I think that's a better way to approach this in this drawing.
Sneak peek of the final cover!
Okay people, but I will have to wrap it up now because it's getting late, I'm tired and I still want to do a scan of this to send to my employees. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you won't miss out on any of my future videos. And if you are interested in comic book covers, check out this video, that's where I show you all I know about comic book covers. With this drawing I even got attention from Marvel, and I think there are some nice tips and tricks in there. So, see you there my friends!